Hey folks, it's Jake Davis with my penultimate episode of a Top 5, counting down and celebrating the best movies of 2023 before we look to the heights of the new year. Well, no, better thing than to get into it. Hope you already checked out my others. Number 5, today's category is Best Actor. Number 5, I'm going to say Leonardo DiCaprio is Ernest Burkhart in Killers of the Flower Moon. He plays a World War I veteran who meanders his way into the heart of an Osage heiress with full intentions of slaughtering her and her entire family so he can eventually inherit all of their fortune. It's a great performance. It's a cruel, vicious, dark character, and DiCaprio's talked about the challenge of playing roles like that before and how compelling it is as an actor. So I totally get why he wanted to play it. But the only thing that keeps the role from being a little bit higher on this in my rankings is a very, very competitive year. All the boys stepped up this year in leading role. It's just a stiff competition for Best Actor. Really stiff when you get to Saltburn. But a spoiler there for you. But the gag, what's the gag I was getting to? Well, I was just gonna say that not really a gag, but wrapping up with Burkhart's character is that with over a 3.5 hour running time, just spending that much time and getting that in depth with a man that is not just purely evil, but also just a downright fool. It got a little bit frustrating and hard to stand at times. Number 4. I would say Jim Caviezel is Tim Ballard in Sound of Freedom. He plays a federal agent who becomes more and more desperate while leading an undercover team trying to bring down a trafficking ring and rescue children. I just loved how he compliments the whole tone of the director, maybe even the director complimenting his performance in his own tone, but the way that's also underplayed, and when vulnerability is shown, it's presented in an uncomfortable way. Not like it's weak or anything like that, but it's one of those moments when the pain can't be held back for these things you're seeing and you're going through, and how he seems more embarrassed about these kind of moments more than anything else because in his position he's in, he expects himself to be more professional. That's very understated and patient, mature performance from you could say the same things about that movie. Number 3, I'd say Cillian Murphy is J. Robert Oppenheimer in Oppenheimer, covering 40 years of this historical figure. I mean, once you see that, it's something no one wanted to do. You see comparison of photos of Oppenheimer and Murphy. The history that they have. They've done several movies together over the years. He kind of felt that he almost developed this pseudo as a way to make Cillian this big, huge leading man for this project. But yeah, the movie covers 40 years of this man's life. But really focuses on the process of going through as well as the after effect on the rest of his life and his psyche and his reputation of being a man who, through desperation, panic, ego, and madness, created the most devastating weapon the world has ever seen. Number 2, say Barry Keoghan is Oliver Quick in Saltburn, and so close to giving him the award. He plays the mysterious but seductive scholar schoolmate who decides that he is going to find his way into nobility by any means necessary. There are moments, scenes, quiet, alone scenes in this movie that are difficult to talk about, much less difficult to shoot. It's a brave, daring, all out, hold nothing back performance. And even before we get to the now controversial final scene of the film, which to me I thought was the highlight of the movie, just because of what it represented to him as a character, what him as an actor was comfortable to go through, and the ways, despite it being this, it's male nudity. I mean, if you watch porno, you have no problem seeing a woman. It's the human body. And I guess I'm just too old to squirm at the fact that there's a dick on TV. I'm just past that being something that really bothers me anymore. Yeah, it's one time I was, but yeah. But the levels he goes to, not in that scene. That scene is show out, all out, flamboyant, look at me scene. But the other scenes, the scene with the bathtub, the scene at the grave, he does some things that are horrific and grotesque, and it's somehow, as a performance, is able to kind of get you to root for him, and in a vulgar way. And it's, then there's the way that, there's this big time jumping later in the film where he just sits through the simple taste of, a change of clothes, a haircut. He looks like he's 10 years older. It's a profound performance. The man's great in it. But I just could not give it to this year. Number one, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers plays Paul Hunham, who is an atheist, misanthropic history teacher at a boarding school who gets punished and stuck with the delinquents and the holdovers during Christmas break of 1970. It is a lot of things. The physical comedy, the layered human character drama he brings to this film, little things he does, like he's supposed to have a lazy eye, and how that's so consistent throughout the film. The scene where he's drunk just trying to undress and get into bed was just reminded me so much of Jack Lemmon, and that's like top marks from me. It is the role of a lifetime. I have no doubt it was written for him. Him and Alexander Payne have a history. But no actor was... I mean, if they couldn't get him, why make it one of those kind of scripts? This was Paul's part. And it's his best performance of his entire career. And I hope he wins the Oscar for it. I have some honorable mentions. Handful. Why not? As always. I'm going to say Paul Dano was very, very funny and charismatic and energetic. And, enthusiastic. His performance as the Roaring Kitty in Dumb Money. Timothée Chalamet in Wonka was just like, just him doing the best impression of the most delightful person in the world. Jorma Tamila was absolutely ferocious and vicious in Sisu. And for sentimental reasons, why not? Keanu Reeves for John Wick Chapter 4 and Chris Pratt for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. One more video. I'm going to do it tomorrow, and it's going to be the big dog. Best Picture of the Year. What do you think was the best movie? And what do you think I'm going to give it to? I'm Jake Davis. Catch you on the fly. Get some sleep.